about jobs, about what we intend to do with Sengkang Town. So hopefully we have a lively discussion later. I look forward to hearing your views and your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. Thank you so much. And coming up next, he has been around in Sengkang very, very long time. Okay, everyone knows him as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Lam Pin Min.
Hi, everyone. Nice
Hi,
to
sir.
see you. Yeah, hi, Kevin. Happy to join in this chit-chat session. I'm well. And, with the rest of the Sengkang candidates, we're going to have some very interesting discussion, about jobs as well as developmental plans in Sengkang. And we are currently living in quite unprecedented times, of COVID-19, and we really need to adapt to all this new norm, including having virtual sessions like this, So I'm looking forward, to the discussion later.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lam. And next one coming up, okay, he's new to Sengkang, but definitely not new to everyone because everyone has seen him around, okay, in the Woodlands area as well. So now he's joining us in Sengkang GRC. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite Mr. Amrin Amin. Okay, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. First,
Hi,
Kelvin, my kanchong, huh?
My kanchong. Today I'm a bit kanchong.
Hi, I'm very happy to be here. This is a very important topic. I look forward to hearing your questions and we look forward to helping you. We'll always do the best we can for you. Thank you.
Kelvin,
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
You know that this brother of mine can sing, can cook.
Yes, I've been following him on his Facebook, on his social media. So, I once sabo him to sing very last minute impromptu one, but he can sing. And then after that, I went to click and follow him. Wow, he can cook very well. Yeah.
Today I cannot sing. It looks like it's going to rain already. So don't.
Okay, but don't worry. Whatever it is, we are indoors, all very safe. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Amrin Amin. And the next one, okay, I've seen on his social media, he has been walking around together with the candidates as well, and he's walking around with on this Riverview Mall. Okay, frankly speaking, I just stay opposite Riverview Mall. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Raymond Lye.
Hi to all the residents of Sengkang. Hello. I'm Raymond. I'm the new candidate, so I'm the new kid on the block. But for those of you who know me from Rivervale, maybe not so new lah. So I've met many of you and said hi. So now on this occasion, I hope to say hello to the residents of Anchorvale and Compassville as well. I'm delighted to be part of this PAP team that hopefully will get to represent all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, because today we're going to talk about jobs, and because we have a manifesto that is about our lives, our job, and our future. So, a lot of Singaporeans or even our Sengkang residents might be very concerned about what is the job opportunities like for Singaporeans out there in the coming years or so. So feel free to actually pop in your question. We will try our best to answer to every one of you as much as we can. Okay. In the meantime, share this out to everyone because this platform is to actually create the correct information and to tell you what is coming up in Sengkang GRC for everyone out there. Okay, we have a lot of people coming in. Wow. Hello to Mr. Amrin. Hello to Dr. Lam. And wow, okay. So just let me look for some questions. Anyone has any questions before we actually, wow, quite a few children know you and Mr. Ng. Good job. Wow, okay.
I love the kids.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Amrin. I met you at Sheng Siong while I was picking strawberries. Okay. While waiting for the questions to be up. Okay. Picking strawberries. Do you want to tell us why were you actually picking strawberries, Mr. Amrin? I mean,
was I picking strawberries? I think she was picking strawberries. I think I remember where it was at Pin Min's area. Mm-hmm. And then she told me she watched my video. The one that I sing, Nian Chao Shi Ho.
Oh, okay. The 细水长流 video. Okay.
You want to sing for us or not, live?
Cannot. I think this one the honor must go to the new candidate.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you should not be singing.
Okay, we have one question over here coming from Liu Rui Xiang. Okay, what are the government schemes to help the currently unemployed and jobs opportunities? Who can actually direct this question to?
Well, I can take it.
Okay.
So, that's a very good question. I think at two levels. One is that the major government scheme that is in place to help overall workers is the job support scheme. This is for workers that are still in a job where companies are supported with substantial amounts of subsidies to help them with cash flow in their businesses. Where the companies are sustained, then the workers are kept in the job without having to go through the worries of job loss. This is a very important help for workers. But we know that the COVID-19 is very serious, so there will be people, there will be job losses, people that will suffer job losses. So there are two key programs at that level of individual assistance. The COVID support grant that will give a person that is out of a job 3 months of assistance of $2,400, each month $800. If you are a freelancer, the assistance comes in the form of SIRS, $9,000 over 9 months, $1,000 a month to help actually all these Singaporeans that are affected badly to cope with the situation. There's a short, simple answer for you. Was it Ray Xiang?
Yes, that's right. From Liu Ray Xiang. Hope we actually answer you. So feel at ease because a lot of good things is coming up for all Singaporeans out there. Can I bring up this question from Hsien Loong? Okay, can we see more special child schools in Sengkang, please? Will there be any? Okay, this might not be something to do with jobs, but it concerns everyone in Sengkang as well. Who can we actually direct this question to?
In fact, we have a special needs school in Fernville, which is actually the very, very west part of Sengkang. That's the Fernville Garden School. So, of course, we have to look at the demand. You know, if let's say there is a demand for special needs schools in our town, then we will actually work, you know, with the relevant agencies to discuss with them to see whether we need to have more over here.
Well, I think that is a feedback definitely we'll have to think through. When my time was in MOE, actually we were giving special emphasis to actually bring in special needs kids so that we can educate. So we actually passed a special education, compulsory special education. I know that MOE is carrying this through. There are plans to better resource the special needs school, whether it's Pathlight or other schools in Ang Mo Kio, in the Fernvale area, in the Pasir Ris areas. So yes, the answer is that there are policies to do so. The specific implementation, we will work with MOE and some of the VWOs that run this school like Meta, Pathlight, to see minds, to see what we can do together. Yes, but thank you for the feedback. It's very useful.
Thank you so much.
This is what really, when we launched the Sengkang Together movement, right? We want to hear what may be the needs and see what we can do together.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ng. And coming from Josh Yong, okay. What are the needs that you have seen in Sengkang and how do you plan to address to these needs? Maybe we can ask Mr. Raymond Lye on this question.
Hi. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
As part of our walkabout and house visits the last 1 or 2 weeks, I think a recurring question has been that there are a number of municipal issues that Sengkang residents are concerned about. And they relate to perhaps their requests or feedback that may not have been dealt with at the speed at which residents expect. And so that's why our Sengkang PAP team has decided that we will bite the bullet and we will set up Sengkang Town Council dedicated just to our Sengkang estates of Anchorvale, Compassvale, and Rivervale. So some residents actually asked, is it going to be very leceh, for them? They have to change town council. So I told them that, treat this as like pulling out your wisdom teeth. Maybe there's a little bit of pain, but once it's out, hopefully, for the rest of your life, everything will be smooth sailing as far as your teeth are concerned. If you read the news, the team has tasked me to set up the town council. I've assured these residents these last few days, right, that my priority will be to minimize any inconvenience for them. This new town council will only focus on Sengkang, so we hope we can improve service delivery. What I did inform residents is that perhaps there could be a one-time change of their gyro plans from the existing either Ang Mo Kio Town Council or Pasir Ris Punggol Town Council to the new Sengkang Town Council. So we hope that if this is done, then residents' expectations of the service delivery, the town development plans that we have would be better seen to, and we can hopefully act quicker.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond Lye. Thank you so much. And of course, because
do you think I can add to some of the things that maybe on top of the residents' mind in terms of town development? Because actually, there are so many people we have spoken to, from young families to senior families. Maybe I can invite Amrin to share about some of the needs as well, because this is a very important question.
That's right.
Yeah, I think Minister is right. There are a few groups of people that we want to address their concerns, and they have very legitimate concerns. One group is young families. We've met many young families at our house visits. Just today, I did house visit and I saw a young family, and we asked about where the places to play and all that. So I think this is an important group, and we want to make sure that this is home to them as well as their kids. And there's enough playgrounds, enough facilities for them. And also for the seniors, as well as those in their 40s and 50s, they must also have a place. I think that's really important. So that's the group that we want to involve, and that's part of the Sengkang Together movement, that we would like to get your inputs, your ideas, because we have some plans. We have put things that are in the pipeline. For instance, you have 2 malls, we have parks, we have various projects. But we also like to hear from you what else we can do. And I think it's important that we co-create, because there's some facilities that, would be good to have, and you can help us build this town together. I think that's an important aspect of this. In particular for young families, which I feel very strongly about. As you know, I'm a young dad. And, there are things that, not just in terms of facilities, but I think programs where we can introduce programs to make better use of the facilities. We have good parks, we have good community clubs, but we can have interesting programs that really make use of these activities, or really make use of these facilities, so that we can better serve our needs. And that's the kind of discussion we would like to have, and we would like to invite you to be part of this discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Amrin. Thank you so much.
Then on my part, when I spoke to, just now when you had some block visits and walkabout, right, I spoke to a few senior, or the 长辈们, the senior residents here. Well, they told me they would like some senior activities. And one lady actually told me that she would like to go back to karaoke when conditions permit. So it's very important for us to take care of our elders here in Sengkang as well. How to actually find ways to engage them, to keep them active, both physically and mentally. We all know that Singapore has an aging population, so designing this with them knowing what they want and what they would need will be very, very important. So some ideas that we are already thinking of is how to find senior activities, possibilities, get different VWO partners, and there may be caregiving needs for the residents, not just to take care of the seniors, but also the caregivers themselves. So all these things, well, already we are gathering all the different feedback in answer to the very good question. Bin, you have any other thing that you picked up?
Yes, if I may share, I have been serving in Sengkang, the west part, for the past 14 to 15 years. And it's quite interesting, to note that the needs has been slowly shifting over the years. And I remember when we first started in 2006, there were very few amenities in Sengkang area. And transportation was also not very, very convenient. But over time, we have improved our public transport system. We have also increased more amenities, more shopping malls, more food courts, coffee shops, and things like that. And the other thing that is in high demand, in Sengkang, because of our young demographic profile, I've often received email, is actually childcare facilities. And over the years, we have built more childcare facilities. We have, a mega childcare center, in different parts of Sengkang. And over the past year or so, I have received actually less demand for that. And interestingly, I'm beginning, to receive demands for facilities for the elderly. And like what Minister Ng Chee Meng has said, we have to look after the elderly population. Our Singapore population is aging very rapidly, and increasingly we have to look into, building more amenities that serve their needs so that they can actually age gracefully and with dignity, in Sengkang.
Thank you, Dr. Lam. Dr. Lam is definitely a very not a unfamiliar face in Sengkang. I've been living in Sengkang for quite some time, and actually, upon with Dr. Lam coming along, we have some from Sengkang West as well. They say, "I miss you so much, Dr. Lam." Yeah, of course, from Woodlands as well, we have some residents from Woodlands. "I miss you, Mr. Amrin," and such. Okay, but. I just want to be selfish a bit. As a Sengkang resident, thank you to 4 candidates for coming on board to Sengkang. Thank you so much. Okay, so because I'm really very excited to know what is coming up for Sengkang. So something that I read on the news, this has got nothing to do with what the Facebook viewers asked. I just want to ask this as a Sengkang resident myself. I saw this on newspaper. Okay, am I right to say that in time to come, we might have a town council in Sengkang ourselves?
Hi, Kevin. Yes, in fact, I mentioned it just now. Due to residents' feedback, I think over quite a number of them are concerned. And when we informed them, okay, we will set up a Sengkang Town Council just dedicated to Anchorvale, Compassville, and Rivervale, I think the vast majority of them were happy to find it out. So as I mentioned earlier, this town council will be new, but of course there'll be some teething pains. But the good thing is, I hope, due to the fact that the 4 of us all have experience in managing town councils, I'm hoping it will be less painful. We'll probably have to do some technical stuff like transferring some of the funds, transferring some of the intellectual property rights. These are all very boring stuff. So in fact, some of the residents did ask me about it, and I told them we hope this process, we will keep in a back room. We will try not to inconvenience residents with these issues. What residents are concerned about is this. For example, if they are used to going to the existing Pasir Ris Punggol Town Council and Ang Mo Kio Town Council branches to pay their SC&C fees, will they be inconvenienced? And my answer to them is, I will try my best to make sure that they can continue to pay their SC&C fees for the next few months at the existing branches. Some residents also asked, if there is going to be a Sengkang Town Council, where will the Sengkang Town Council office be? Frankly, my honest answer to them is that Sengkang GRC is very new. In fact, the 4 of us basically thrown together also fairly recently. So the honest answer is we will need some time to look at it. But I promise them, if we are elected, I will hit the ground running together with my teammates. We will try and find out as much as possible if we can use the existing officers. So as to minimize cost and also keep to the current efficiency levels in terms of the management of the officers, we will keep that. But if it makes more sense to get a new and bigger office that is centralized, we will certainly also do that. But the commitment of my team and myself is that if we do this, we will try to make it as seamless and as convenient as possible to our residents. I hope that answers a little bit of your question, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Kevin,
yes, Mr.
Let me add a bit of humor into this chat, right? You see Raymond's answer. Even in the midst of election, he is going into all the different details of thinking of how to serve the residents, gyro transfer, making sure that it is as seamless as possible so that we can serve the residents better. So if you look at what the team is bringing forward to the residents, very importantly, we have good plans in place to run a GRC should we win. This is not just about talking that we'll set up a GRC, but really thinking through, working in process already, how to do it in the best way possible. That's one, concrete plans. Two, if you look at it, why Raymond even now can say all these things when we are running around block visits, engaging residents, because actually collectively the four of us have more than 40 years of collective experience in running town councils, running the GRC in one way or another. And I'm very confident that Dr. Lam Pin Min, Amrin, and Raymond, we have that track record, including myself, of course, of the track record of actually not just being able to think about what are the things that we want to do for residents, but importantly, the experience, the discipline, commitment to actually implement it for all of Sengkang residents. This is a very important point that I actually would want to make here, a bit more serious now. A very important point, because when we look at what is at stake here, it's actually about our residents' lives, our residents' homes. It is 5 years plans, it is 10 years down the road to implement, to create the best home for Sengkang residents. There was some debate about talking about blank checks recently, but should we actually look at candidates' capabilities, not just in the ability to discuss, but really looking at these 3 points that I made to actually serve you. I really hope that in this chat session, we'll convince our residents here, right, that my team standing here in Sengkang have the experience, the track record to do all the different plans that we have put on the table for you. Yeah, Kevin, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ng. Thank you. As a fellow Sengkang resident myself, I just want to wish all of you good luck and all the best. Do remember to give them your fullest support. As I've mentioned earlier on, today's live, I've done a lot of lives. Today's live is very kanjiong for me in the sense, okay, not nervous as in afraid, but I'm kanjiong because I'm excited because hours before we are going on live, the organizer actually told me that we have a special guest coming up with us today, and he's none other than the Secretary General for People's Action Party. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to invite him up, Mr. Hsien Loong. Hi, sir.
Hello, Kevin. How are you? Been watching your webinar and
looking
listening
good,
to all
looking fresh, sir.
GRC. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Chee Meng. Hello, everybody. Pin Min.
So we have actually been talking about some of the issues that Sengkang residents would be actually very concerned with, and especially with some jobs issue as well. So do you have anything to share that you can actually share with us on how Singaporeans can actually better secure their jobs?
Well, jobs are our top priority. We have all kinds of schemes to secure the existing jobs, to help the people who lose their jobs or lose pay, and also create new jobs so that they replace existing ones and enable the economy to grow again. But all these schemes are just schemes unless we can implement them well on the ground and make sure that they reach every worker. And that's what we have been doing. So we've been organizing virtual career fairs online. In fact, there's one virtual career fair going on now till mid-July, and it's advertising both job and traineeship opportunities for people. We're also bringing the projects and the reach out to all of the heartlands. So we're talking about 24 satellite career centers in all the towns all over Singapore. And they're called the GE2020 Jobs and Skills Centers, which will offer career matching services and advice. And actually, there's one in Sengkang CC. I'm not sure whether you noticed, but it opened earlier this week. And you can go there if you need help. And if you need more specialized help, more in-depth, tailored coaching, then there are 5 specialist centers, and you'll be referred, and then you can get the help which you need. So the resources are available, the schemes are available, and we are doing our best to help. What we need to do is to have MPs who will be able to know what the schemes are and also connect the schemes with the residents, make sure that the residents get in touch with the right people. Of course, another group which is doing a lot of work with jobs and with workers is unions. And I say this especially because Brother Chee Meng is our NTUC Secretary General. And I can tell you, sitting in cabinet, he's always speaking up for workers and workers' interests. And even before COVID-19 came, just even last year, we could see the trends on jobs, and he was already focused on jobs. And last year in May, when we went for a May Day rally and preparing for that, we talked about working with employers to set up company training committees to identify training and skills which workers would need to keep up with trends, and to get the companies invested in it and the workers in each company having a framework where they can have the jobs done, have the work done, and be able to put on with the training. So that has been happening, and he also launched programs to help the workers become more productive, and using technology to work from home, for example, embracing new ways of working. So today we are not quite from home, but we are in our different branches and in the constituencies. But I think if we had not had that run-up, we would not be able to do this kind of Zoom and web chat quite so easily. Now, in the middle of the crisis, Chee Meng has been leading the NTUC's response. He established the NTUC Jobs Security Council to match jobs to workers. And since February, it has already matched, I'm told, 12,000 jobs. And most of these are older PMETs who are working in affected industries, things like aviation, which are very badly affected. If you're an air stewardess, then you need a new job until the aeroplanes can fly again. And that's what they have been doing, bringing them into healthcare to become safe distancing ambassadors and other places where the existing skills can be repurposed and put to good use. And the councils also provide training support for employers and workers, and including the self-employed. So Chee Meng also heads the NTUC. NTUC also has many of the social enterprises, the co-ops, and they have all been persuaded by Chee Meng to take part in this national effort to deal with COVID. For example, NTUC Income has expanded their insurance policies to cover COVID, and Fair Price also has been involved. They've worked very hard to secure new food supplies because some of our existing food supplies threaten to be broken. We may have lost our supplies of eggs or vegetables or fresh or meat, and we had to work very hard to go around the world looking for alternative places, and Fair Price was one of those which helped us. It also has promised to freeze the price of daily essentials until the end of the year, which I think would be very welcome news to many households who are trying to get their budgets to meet. Unity, which is another co-op, has scrambled to secure medical supplies like hand sanitizers and masks. And Kopitiam and NTUC Food Care, they are now selling breakfast for $1. Toast, 2 eggs, and kopi, and special for union members.
Yes.
So Chee Meng is fully hands-on, deeply engaged on behalf of workers in the fight for COVID-19.
Well, the breakfast set was actually meant for 1st of May, but because of COVID, we have to delay it.
Oh, well, but it's not too late. It will come. I think the other candidates in the team have valuable experience too. If we look at Pin Min, he was chairman of Ang Mo Kio Town Council for 5 years. At that time, it covered Fernvale. And then later on, Fernvale came out, became Sengkang West, and it was Ang Mo Kio Sengkang West Town Council. And Pin Min remained on the Town Council as one of the members. And so he has quite a lot of experience seeing how town councils work and making how town councils work. Amrin has been working with kids from disadvantaged families in Woodlands. I think especially teaching them math. You have a program. What is it called, Amrin?
We have various programs. We have Class Mathematica by Mendaki, and then we also have Project Achieve, we have many things lah, and I can't wait to bring them to Sengkang.
Yes. So I think that's all valuable experience. Raymond Lye also has many years of grassroots experience in Punggol East, and he's seen many elections, including by-elections, and he's slogged on faithfully, a very reliable soldier. And that's why he's on the team. And I think we have a strong and a well-balanced team in Punggol East. And if you elect them, become your MP, they will hit the ground running, work with you to help us through this crisis. If you look at the other opposition parties, they all say they want to help workers. I mean, they have to say that. But they have no plan to deal with the crisis. And if you look at what is in their manifesto, like the Workers' Party manifesto, Workers' Party is standing in Sengkang. What they do, they take the PAP's plan, they say, very good, and here are a few holes, please patch the holes. Here are a few places where you can add more money, make it cheaper, do more, work harder. I also can. So, as Vivian said on the TV debate a few days ago, this is PAP light. But I tell you, why do you want to settle for PAP light? The real thing is much better. And here in Sengkang, you have the real thing with the 4 members of our PAP team. And I would ask Sengkang voters very seriously, show Ng Chee Meng and his team their full support. I know the team are ready and raring to go, and will give it their all to serve Sengkang residents well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And wow, Mr. Lee,
So
actually,
better go to it.
We will.
That's right.
well, Mr. Lee is actually making his speech and describing more about what are the upcoming plans and such. We have a lot of well wishes coming on from the viewers. They say, Mr. Lee, you look tired. Must 加油, 加油. Yeah. Okay, so they say some of them say Mr. Lee look fresh and things like that. And we do have some audience asking for some words from Mr. Lee in Chinese. Whether is it possible, Mr. Lee?
Yes, it is possible, of course. 大家下午好，很高兴有机会为盛港机选区的行动党团队讲几句话。黄志明一直以来是我的领导班子的重要成员之一，他是直总的秘书长，是工友的最好的朋友。在官兵疫情的时候，他的担子更重了，要不断的和雇主沟通合作，说服他们不要裁员，尽量保住工友的饭碗，这个是至关重要的责任。Amrin Amin 是一位年轻的爸爸，他年轻，他孩子也很年轻，所以他对年轻家长、年轻夫妇的课题非常熟悉。黎红叶 Raymond Lye， 他虽然是一名新的候选人，可是他在板鹅东基层服务很多年了，几年了 Raymond？
从2006年，所以应该是14年吧。
14年了，所以他熟悉社区，非常了解大家的需要。蓝冰冰医生之前属于我红毛桥的机选区的团队，他曾经担任过红毛桥市政理事会的主席5年。那过后，红毛桥当时是包括分别的，过后分别割开来，成为了盛港西单选区。那我们的市政理事会继续包括红毛桥和盛港西，所以变成 Ang Mo Kio Sengkang West Town Council。那丁民继续成为我们的市政理事会的成员之一、理事之一，照顾好盛港居民。我可以说市政理事会各方面都处理的还可以，没有出大毛病，财务等等都可以跟居民交代清楚，这个是非常重要的，不是开玩笑的事情。因为市政理事会负责选民、居民的成百万、千万的 SNCC， 就是杂费。这个杂费如果不处理的好的话，会出现非常多的问题。我看大家看报纸就知道会有怎么样的问题发生了。但是行动党团队我们办事，大家可以放心，因为我们的团队有经验、有骨气、有决心，并且是清廉洁职的，他们有能力办好盛港新的市政理事会。所以我希望新市政理事会的将来的主席必须加油。
Thank you, sir.
那我也要讲，另外多讲一点，就是呢，我们有一支 多元化的团队，能够代表人民，替各个阶层的民众在国会发声，绝对不让任何一个群体落在后头或被边缘化。我们的候选人是不同的年龄层，有些年轻一点，有些白头发稍微多一点，当然还不比我的多。他们代表不同种族，也有不同的宗教信仰，同时也有不同的语言背景。志明当然是华中的毕业生，华语不成问题，但是他也会说几句马来语啊，听说。我的弟妹。sedikit。Amrin 呢，虽然是马来同胞，不过为了更方便和居民沟通，也会讲一点华语，甚至会唱华语歌。听说他最近推出了一首音乐视频《细水长流》。
哇哦！
所以他新谣也是
不错了，
现场表演，
可能唱的比我还要好。所以这个是行动党一贯的作风和治国理念，在和其他选区一样，盛港基选区有年长居民，也有不少中年居民，上有父母，下有子女，要照顾好他们，压力不少。还有一部分是第一次投票的，所以大家来自不同的背景，有不同的需求，而大家努力奋斗，就是为了让自己和家人能够有一个更好的未来。所以我相信志明和他的团队能够尽心为您服务，跟大家打成一片，照顾好您的生活需求，因为他们跟您一样，也经历过人生的不同的阶段，明白大家生活上的负担和压力，能够为您提供最大的帮助，并且在他们后面，他们不只是4个人，他们是行动党的4个人，所以他们后面有行动党，行动党会支持他们，全力以赴，确保他们尽他们的责任。所以我希望盛港基选区的选民会全力支持我们的团队，给他们明确的委托，把他们送入国会，继续为大家服务。谢谢。
谢谢 Mr. Lee。那刚才有听到 Mr. Lee， 其实他说到就是 Okay, coming over the years, so many years, Singapore has come together like one big family. 那当然，我们要感谢 Mr. Lee， 因为刚才说到这个白头发，谢谢你头上的白头发，因为你每一根白头发都是为我们国民而设的，谢谢你，谢谢你对我们国家的努力。那当然呢，身为一个盛港居民 ，as a Sengkang resident myself, today is a wish come true for me to speak to Mr. Lee and the rest of the candidates online. 我可不可以再贪心一点点？我不知道说，就是我知道 Mr. Lee 他今天是特地把自己的那个 schedule 空出来，因为他说 I want to come and say something to Sengkang residents. I want to show my support for these 4 members over here. 我可不可以再贪心一点 ？Can we take one virtual group photo together before you actually leave for your next segment？ 可以吗？
当然可以，当然可以。
Thank you, sir. Okay.
大家来。
Okay, so because of this pandemic, everything is actually going on digital platform and such, and even our discussion, and of course, right now we are taking a virtual photo together with Mr. Lee and the rest of the candidates. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 那我们可不可以来一个有 pose 的一起 ？Okay, come on, Sengkang GRC. Yes, here we go. 加油！
加油！
谢谢 ，Thank you so much, Mr. Lee， 谢谢 ，Thank you so much for coming along despite your busy schedule. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you， 谢谢。Please take good care. 我们很多网民都很关心，他说 Please take good care, Mr. Lee. You look very tired. 要加油，好好的休息。
告诉他们不用担心，我会照顾好自己。
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you. 谢谢。
刚才总理所说的，刚才我用英语也是讲过哈，在盛港我们的计划现在其实已经在这个 manifesto 之中呢，已经送给每个家庭了。你们可以在里面参考我们的那个实际的那个计划，怎么共创我们的盛港。初步呢，就是我们的盛港 市政理事会嘛，红叶也有刚才用英语发言过了，我也不再多说在里面哦，你们可以参考一下里面的资料，其实都挺详细的。不管是那个共创盛港的计划呢，或者是好像刚才总理也说到的，我们也从不同的行业哈，我是三军国家武装新加坡武装部队出身的，然后进了政治，王彬明也带来很多很宝贵的经验啊，他是一个眼科医生红叶跟安宁呢都是律师，所以我们不管在哪一方面呢都有挺好的那个经验，不管是管理比较大的一些组织啊，或者是有特别的那个技能学问啊，那些都带来会给人民王彬明会给我们的香港居民带来我们的知识来管理这些大大小小在社区里面的问题。更重要的呢是，我们也是带来了很多我们自己的 track record， 不管是在不只单单在脑海里想到好的主意，更重要的是呢，把主意转回计划，转回进行措施把事情做好，把整个纪检期可以拉上更高的一层楼。这是我是觉得在这方面呢，如果可以得到居民们的支持呢，我们一定说得到做得到，更好的为大家服务。
Thank you so much, Mr.
Can I add something in Malay?
Yes.
I will try to summarize the whole of PM's speech into this sentence.
Okay. So after you actually summarize in Malay, can I actually request for you to sing Si Sui Chang Liu before we end it off? Over to you, sir.
Okay, para penduduk Sengkang, kami sangat gembira ya dapat berkhidmat kepada masyarakat. Kami sedia berkhidmat kepada masyarakat ya, dan kami ingin anda meneliti program-program yang ada, dan inilah sebenarnya perkara yang kami telah berfikir secara bermasa jangka panjang, dan plan-plan kami, pengalaman kami dan juga rekod pencapaian kami harus diteliti dengan betul ya. Dan saya mengajak semualah para voters ya untuk memberi sokongan yang padu kepada pasukan PAP kerana kami ada plan-plan yang baik untuk memperbaiki hidup anda ya. Yang penting ialah kehidupan anda, pekerjaan anda dan juga masa depan kita bersama. Jadi marilah kita sama-sama ya memberi sokongan memberi sokongan kepada pasukan PAP supaya kami dapat teruskan memperbaiki hidup anda dan juga keluarga anda. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrin. Thank you so much. And of course, coming back into this topic that we're going to talk about today is actually about jobs. But we have a lot of questions coming from everyone in Sengkang as well, and maybe some out of Sengkang as well. They're just very concerned. They just want to pop some questions. I've actually taken a snapshot at some of the questions earlier on because the comments is overwhelming today. Okay, so Sengkang residents. Okay, this is coming to. We have one coming to. Okay. Wan Shin, is there any planning for the neighborhood shop around Sengkang Central? Mr. Ng, you want to help us to actually address to this question?
What was the question about? What
is there any planning coming up for the neighborhood shop around in Sengkang Central?
Well, we of course want to bring more amenities to our residents, whether it is the neighborhood shops, eateries, other amenities. We want to gather the different feedback. And in fact, one of the residents I've spoken to just now, actually she would like to see more variety of food as well. So in Sengkang West, we are bringing a hawker center to better serve these needs. And if there are specific shop requirements that residents want, well, do let us know as we engage you. If we are elected, right, to go into this Sengkang Together movement, what are the things that we would like to see? And then we will work with government agencies, work with the different trade associations to bring in those facilities to the best of our abilities.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ng. And talking about food, I think Sengkang residents really love food because the last few rounds we were all talking about health issues. We are talking about how we can actually bring you to the right track for your health and such. They'll be asking a lot about food. Okay, today as well, we have one coming from Sabrina To. Okay, the Anchorville Village, I think it is in the midst of some process, and we are actually looking forward to this wet market and hawker center coming up at Anchorville Village. How long would it roughly take? Do we have any rough gauge to this, Dr. Lam?
Yes, Anchorville Village will be situated just opposite our Anchorville CC, where the sports complex is. It's going to be completed sometime in 2022. But because of this COVID situation, we are still assessing to see whether there will be any impact on the completion date. But one thing that we can look forward to in Anchorville Village is that there's going to be a supermarket, there's going to be a hawker center, and there are going to be retail shops over there. So it's like a new town center in Sengkang itself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lam. And okay, other than food, I think our Sengkang residents are actually very concerned about this jets flying around. So maybe we can take this chance to actually address to this because, okay, frankly speaking, I hear that a lot as well. And there are a lot of comments coming up regarding this jets flying around. Okay, from Lo Hui-ying, one of the 10 over comments that I saw. The noise pollution from the planes is an urgent issue that has really affected those working from home for the past 2 months. Okay, how can we actually work to improve this situation?
Well, this one, let me take this question because I was in the Air Force before too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because of the limited airspace, we have always sought the indulgence of residents in Singapore when the Air Force actually fly to do our air defense requirements. In this COVID period, exactly that's why you said, right, the last 2 months, because many of the overseas training areas are close to the Air Force, they could not deploy to Thailand, Australia, and other places for the training. So maybe the flying frequency has gone up a bit. We'll see what we can feed back to the Air Force as well to balance the residents' needs for some quiet moments for business in the day and where the kids are at home, see how to manage that. But in the longer term, the Air Force has plans to move out of Paya Lebar to Tengah and to Changi Air Base. That means they will free up Paya Lebar Airport eventually for other developments. Hopefully by then, as we reduce the footprint of the Air Force in the central part of Singapore, your feedback will be dealt with decisively. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ng. Okay, coming back to jobs. Okay, we have a lot of questions coming to the welfare, to many types of questions, but we want to come back to jobs because we know that there will be a virtual job fair at Sengkang Sports Complex Atrium. Okay, coming up on the 11th and 12th July. Who can actually give us more info on this and what are we actually looking forward to in this virtual job fair?
You want to take it, Pimin?
Dr. Lam?
Yes. So this virtual job fair is one of our many initiatives, to bring job opportunities to our Sengkang residents. We understand that, during this COVID-19 crisis, many of us are going through tough times. Companies are also going through a very challenging period. Although the government has come in to assist many of these businesses, we also understand that some companies may still resort to retrenchment. And that is why, we have set up the National Job Council to look into this, to create more new jobs for Singaporeans, especially those affected by COVID-19 crisis. And by having these job fairs within our community, we want to bring it closer to our residents, especially those who are in search of a new employment, and they can actually visit many of these job fairs to see whether there are any job opportunities that are suitable for them.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Lam. And
yes,
yes, Mr. Amrin.
Job fairs is a very important part of our program. I was just at a coffee shop today and I met someone, a very young man who's about 23, and he got retrenched on his first job. We can feel the pain, wondering whether he's good enough. And I think these are the kind of groups of people that we want to help and tell them that it's not their fault, it's the state of the economy, and we are here to help. And there are opportunities and there are training opportunities available. So we are going to focus our efforts on a few groups of people. The first is young PMETs, second is the mid-career professionals, the skilled labor, as well as another very important group is the return to work mothers. It's quite difficult now with the economy as it is to find work for people to give a chance to mothers who want to go back to work. So I think this is something that I picked up speaking to residents. Mothers especially, the kids are growing up, they grow up so fast these days, and then mothers can't wait to go back to work, to go back and get into action. So we want to help them, and this is something that the careers fair will also address. And the third group is, of course, part-time employment. We've met a group of PMD riders. They've done good jobs. They adjusted, they took whatever opportunities that are available, and we respect them. But we also want to help them to grow, such that when the economy takes off, they get a firm landing and they are able to get good incomes for their family. So we want to help, we want to support, and we'll be there for you. So we'll take care of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrin. Very well said. I feel very at ease as a Sengkang resident myself. And of course, we have some comments coming up for Mr. Raymond Lye. Okay, so they were actually saying, Mr. Raymond Lye, a new face. Okay, you want to tell us more about yourself before we carry on further on some jobs-related matters? Mr. Lye?
Thank you, Calvin. Yes, as PM said, I'm a new face, but I may be new. I may be the new PAP candidate on the team, but I'm not new actually to the residents of Sengkang, especially those from Rivervale. I have been serving the residents of Rivervale as the CCC chairman since 2006, as PM mentioned earlier. So I've been helping Mr. Charles Chong and before that, Mr. Michael Palmer to help look after Rivervale residents. So I hope that I've been familiar enough with them. I've been walking the ground there for some time when it was an SMC. And Rivervale being the older part of Sengkang GRC, I think Rivervale was construction was started earlier, and then after that Compassvale and then Anchorvale. So the population profile of Rivervale is slightly older, not much, but slightly older than the other parts. So my focus, being a member of the team, but also having going to look after Rivervale if we are elected, I will try my best to bring in more facilities that will try to cater for the population profile in Rivervale. For example, more senior activity centers. And in my dual head, hopefully after we set up the town council, we want to make sure that our senior citizens across Sengkang GRC will also be better looked after. I think we have plans to try and build more barrier-free access routes, more covered linkways, and basically to make the quality of life better for our residents. In the block visit that we did earlier in Compassvale today, there's this block where there were so many young parents with babies and toddlers. And of course, one of their concerns will be going forward, will there be enough childcare places as well? So this will be another issue that the team will pay special attention to. ACTA has already built 2 of the 5 large mega childcare centers in Sengkang. One of them, is just across the border in Fernvale, and there's one, in fact, in Rivervale as well. But we will keep our eyes on the ball. We'll try to make sure that for the parents with kids, who are looking forward, to the joy of parenthood, that they can take one worry off their mind, which is infant care and childcare. We will try our best to meet that need as well. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lye. And of course, being a veteran in Sengkang, we have Dr. Lam. Okay, one of the things that I want to check with Dr. Lam is you have seen Sengkang actually emerge and how Sengkang actually changed over the years. What changes have Sengkang actually experienced from the start that you joined until now? And what are the things that we can actually look forward to other than what Mr. Lye actually has mentioned earlier on?
So in fact, when I first started in 2006, when I was elected as a MP, my first impression of Sengkang was, wow, so much empty spaces. We even had opportunity to organize kite flying events. And some of my friends who ever visited Sengkang during those days, more than 15 years ago, will say, wow, is this really part of Singapore? It's quite different, very underdeveloped. But over the years, I think Sengkang has changed very much. There's a lot of new BTO flats. There are new condominiums as well. And there are also a lot of amenities and facilities being built. One case in point is actually the new Anchorvale CC as well as the sports complex there. Because of this new facility, I think it becomes like a heart of Sengkang West during those days when it was built. And at the same time, we also have some recreational activities and facilities, such as the Sengkang Riverside Park, where we see many of our residents do their runs over there in the park connectors. We also have the Sengkang Floating Island in the middle of Punggol Reservoir, which is very well received and frequented by many residents as well. But moving forward, I think what we have been reiterating is actually the Sengkang Together movement. Through this movement, we want to have more ground-up initiatives, from our residents. We want to find out from them, exactly what are the facilities and the programs that they want, so that we can work together to make Sengkang a better place for all of us. In the pipeline right now, like we've mentioned previously, we have the Anchorvale Village that will be completed in 2022. We're also going to have a water theme playground for children. This will be completed next year. And I'm sure our young Sengkang residents will enjoy and love the facility when it's going to be ready. But rest assured, our Sengkang Together movement is one of those initiatives where we want to have co-creation, of a development of our Sengkang town. And I also want to urge all our residents to participate, when we start getting feedback from all of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lam. And talking about this wonderful facilities coming up, I'm so excited, definitely. And I need to check, because he mentioned about some young family with kids and things like that. I need to check with this young dad over here, Mr. Amrin Amin. Okay, for example, right now we are actually in a situation whereby we know we are facing COVID, but we are still growing as a nation. And how can Singapore be more self-sustaining to handle situations in the future? Maybe we need your advices and your visions.
Self-sustaining in terms of environmental, is it? Or what
That's
kind?
right, sir.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot that we can do together. We can, the green movement, for instance, is a very important one. We got to make sure there's enough parks, there's enough places, and we provide recycling facilities. I think these are all things that we would like to do, and we like to implement, and we like to see, especially our young people out there, to get their ideas, because young people that I've met have a lot of things that they want to do, and part of this Sengkang Together movement is to gather these ideas and get people to work on the ideas, because we want people to walk the talk, and not just, promise here, promise there, and then after that, come up with a 10-point plan, but we want action. We want real things. We want proper things, for people, a platform for people to work on. So these are the kind of things that we want to do. We like to engage our young people, involve them. And one of the ideas that we have in mind is actually green projects, greening Sengkang, as well as mental wellness. I think these are areas that our people can contribute ideas on how we can relieve stress, how we can make the town a much more lovely place, a much more relaxing place, a much more enjoyable place for all. And I'm sure many of you, based on our visits at supermarkets, coffee shops, homes. People are doing all sorts of things, whether it's buying strawberries. Just now the lady bought strawberries, right? So there's so many things that I think we can do, and we'd like to get your ideas and your involvement.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrin Amin. Thank you so much. And of course, coming back into because too many comments and too many questions, I managed to snapshot this. Okay, what is NTUC's opinion about moving away from the traditional 5-day work week to a 4-day work week with the option of working from home on the 5th day and even having a flexible hours working model? Okay, maybe we can check with Mr. Ng on this.
Okay. I just clarify the question first. It's a 5-day work week, 4-day at home, 1 day. 4 days in the office and 1 day at home, right? That's the question, right?
That's right.
Well, I will say never. Before COVID-19, it may be more of a long shot, but after COVID-19, you see the way that we have changed our work practices. Those that can work from home, many are still working from home. Productivity levels may have dipped a little bit, but probably have picked up again. We don't have the statistics yet, but this is really going to be a new way of life. Digitalization and having this foundational technology, I think is a possibility. Whether it's a 5-day work week in the office, 5-day work week, 4 days in the office, 1 day at home, I think are all different possibilities. NTUC, in my view, I will support this, and I will give options to the mothers, in young families, possibilities like this in what we call flexible work arrangements, so that where they have kids to take care of, well, the flexible work arrangement 4+1 at home would be very, very useful. So I will never say never, and I hope that these possibilities, these options will be made available in the different discussions between unions and the companies, and government maybe will also look into such possibilities, because the technologies are available, and COVID-19 has actually accelerated our digitalization in Singapore. So it's a very insightful question. Thank you for the question. We will think more deeply about this, but it's certainly a possibility. I will never say never to such a suggestion. Let's see how we can create those options for our workers, whether it is PMETs or rank and file, where possible. I think we can.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ng. Then I told you already, when we talk about jobs, we have plenty of questions coming all over, from food and to welfare to greeneries and now to transportation. Okay, from Simon Chen, I managed to snapshot this. Any extension for transportation in Sengkang to everywhere in Singapore? Maybe we want to check with Dr. Lam on this.
You mean, well, having connectivity to every single part of Singapore?
Wow, okay.
Well, if you understand how our public transport system works, we usually have a heart, and we have the wheel and the spoke kind of a strategy. That means, we have buses, to connect to different parts of the estate that leads, to where the MRT station is. And the MRT station trains actually, allows us to travel or commute, from Sengkang to many different parts of Singapore. Because if we have different connectivity in terms of buses from Sengkang to all over Singapore, then it will become a mega, a bus interchange, which is not a very efficient use of the system. So our mass rapid transport system, the MRT, is actually the key public transport system that connects us, from one place to another place.
Yeah, if I can add to that, because I was also 2M MOT some time ago. Well, the backbone of our transport system are the MRT trains. And we are putting in a lot of investments to double the network, so that the overall backbone around the island is not just north-south lines, but around the island as well. Then, as what Pin Min has said, right, with this backbone network, we have put in buses to run spoke possibilities. And actually, the government, through the bus enhancement program, actually also now mirror a little bit, because of Singaporeans' feedback, to run some of the critical lines, right, to join different parts of it. But if you were to duplicate the whole system, then the transport bill would be very, very high. As it stands now, the bus enhancement scheme, the BSEP, right, is already subsidizing commuters to a tune of $1 billion or so a year. So we have to manage the convenience for Singaporeans and also see how to balance the budget requirements, because there are many infrastructural things that MOT is embarking on. I just told you about the MRT. We are also embarking on T5 building, and the cost pressures will be significant on MOT. I hope I answered your question. That's what I remembered during my time in MOT.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. And wow, back to food again. Okay. Greetings from Sengkang. We have just drifted to Sengkang last July. I would like to know if we will be able to have a community club that has a food center just like the one in Tzi Yuan at Riverview Crescent. Sorry. Can we actually have Mr. Raymond Lye to help us with this?
Okay, Kevin, the question was about a food center in Rivervale Crescent, right?
That's right. That means they actually asked whether we can have a CC just like Tzi Yuan, which has a hawker center in it together.
Okay, interesting. Actually, our new CC is coming up, and it's actually coming up near where, behind where Rivervale Plaza is. Our Rivervale CC will actually be completed in early 2021. It would have been completed later this year, but there are some delays due to the COVID circuit breaker. Well, if the question is about a Qi Yuan type food center in Rivervale, unfortunately, the answer will be no. The grassroots and Mr. Chong tried very hard to convince NEA to allow us to build a food center, but I think NEA, they've done their calculations, and they informed us that in the area where the CC is, there are already 2 food courts, so they are not so keen on the idea of another food center in the CC. But for the residents who live around Rivervale Crescent, they will know that actually a few years ago, there were no coffee shops at all in Rivervale. That was the HDB design policy at the time those flats were designed and built. And we fought very hard for HDB to give us a coffee shop when the Block 182 was built a few years back. So there is now a coffee shop in 182, and I do understand it was very welcome. In fact, our residents in that area were still requesting, hey, look, Raymond, this coffee shop, well, it's good, but it's a bit small. Can we have a bigger coffee shop if we are not going to be able to get a food court? Well, again, we pressed HDB for it, and the good news is for those of you who live near Crescent, you know that the new Rivervale Shores BTO is being built. It will be ready in the next 2 years, I hope. And we've been letting our residents know HDB has actually agreed to build a large coffee shop in the Rivervale Shores BTO. There will also be a supermarket as well. So I'm urging my residents in that part of Rivervale to be patient. Come the next couple of years, there will be 2 coffee shops in the area. The Rivervale Shores BTO is just across the road from where Rivervale Crescent is. And I hope that when that coffee shop is open, it will help to alleviate the demand for more local food eating places. So I'm looking forward to the opening of that coffee shop too.
Kelvin, I had something.
Yes,
all
Mr. Amrin.
the candidates here love food. So residents don't need to worry. We will pay very close attention to food, and trust us. So I think this is one of the good news that we have is that we are going to open 2 more hawker centers. One is at Bangkok Integrated Hub. Another is at Anchorvale Village. So that will be ready in 2022 or maybe slightly later with the COVID crisis. We will see. But we we'll have 2 more hawker centers, and this is in addition to the various coffee shops that are being set up, like what Raymond mentioned. So we will do more, and trust us, we are very particular about our food. We'll make sure there's good food quality here, and it's tasty, affordable, and meet your requirements. So we'll do our very best.
Oh, thank you so much. And we know that we are all talking about our lives, our jobs, and our future. And of course, we have one question coming. Maybe we can get Mr. Amrin to help us with this. Do you have a copy of the manifesto online? Do we have an online version for this manifesto?
Online version, I think we do. Let me check on that. If not, we can get it posted up at our PAP Sengkang GRC page. But if not, you should have received it at home, or come see us. We'll give you how many copies? Or we can send it by WhatsApp also, I think.
Okay.
Not to worry. Huh?
Because okay, frankly speaking, I know some seniors, when you tell them our lives, our jobs, our futures, the first thing is that they might be as blurred as me, like, oh, what do you mean by that? So after understanding more on our conversation today, they know, now I'm interested to know more about my life, my job, and my future. Okay, so we have these 4 candidates over here. I have one more question over here, which frankly speaking, I really don't know who should I direct this question to. The person who actually asked this question is something like saboing me somehow or other. Okay, so if elected, okay, where will the candidates be taking? Who should I direct this to? Where will each of the candidates be taking?
Okay, so right now, the new Sengkang GRC, geographically, for very easy reference, is that in the west, you got Anchorvale. In the center, you got Sengkang Central, Compassvale. And in the east, you got Sengkang East. Pimin will continue to helm Sengkang West on the western side, with the Sengkang Road, Sengkang Avenue Road coming down, Sengkang East Avenue coming down. And then Raymond will continue on Sengkang East with the Punggol Road coming down on the right-hand side, on the eastern side. Sengkang Central, that was helmed by Mr. Teo Ser Luck, is actually a very big division. In fact, the biggest in Singapore. So we will split it north-south. I will be in the northern side to take care of residents. Amrin will be on the southern side, where there's exciting new Buangkok development, where your CC is going to be. Amrin will take charge of that zone to serve our residents. Yeah, so it's quite easy. 2 sectors on the side. In the center, we will go on a half basis to serve all the residents.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ng. Thank you so much for sharing this. And okay, no, I asked, they asked me to ask.
Okay, that's a very good clarification. So that
something that I want to know as well.
Yeah, you have a face to know who will actually be there to serve you. But let me assure all residents, the whole GRC will function as one team. So if you need to see any of us, if you are elected as an MP, do go and see wherever it is the most convenient. We will serve you as a team. Yeah?
Thank you so much. And this is what Sengkang GRC is all about. One GRC and one Sengkang and one Singapore. And of course, before we end it off, can we have each of the speakers to actually help us to summarize a bit? Maybe we want to start from Mr. Ng first.
Well, would you like to get the others to go first?
I want to Amrin the last one because I have a surprise for him later on.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, Mr. Lye.
As the most junior member of the team, I will go first. Okay, I enjoyed this session very much. I think there's one thing I want to add, and I believe very strongly in it. In the last few days, we've been walking around. There are quite a number of young families in Sengkang, especially in the Compassvale area, some of the newer flats. And I think one thing that is very close to their hearts, and these are young parents with young children. When we talked about our plans and our hopes for the new town council, what came out very strongly was this. Firstly, I want to say, right, if we are elected, if our Sengkang residents support us, Gone are the days where the PAP will tell you, okay, this is what we are going to do for you. We have thrown that out to get it above water. What we're going to do is this: if you give us the chance to represent you, we will talk to you, we'll listen to you, and you tell us what you want for your Sengkang town, for your Sengkang town identity. And what some of these young parents and younger Singaporeans and first-time Sengkang voters have told me and members of my team is that this issue of sustainability is very close to their hearts. So they want their kids to grow up in Singapore which prioritizes sustainability, where we have to take note of climate change. In fact, if this is one of the ground-up feedback that we get. In fact, there was a young lady who was carrying a 10-month-old baby this afternoon that I spoke to. In fact, she stressed this a lot. And I said, for us, we will listen. And if, sustainability is really such a strong, it has taken root, and I believe it has with many young Singaporeans. One of the first things that we will do when we do our ground-up initiatives, right, is that we can actually focus on the issue of sustainability in terms of the kinds of facilities we are going to develop, the kinds of programs we're going to have. And she was very happy when I invited her, whether you would like to join us if we're going to carry this out. And she was very happy to do so. So I also want to just assure our younger voters that for us, sustainability is also very close to our hearts. And we will make sure that we listen to you and that the young will also be well looked after as well. And I think, Pin Min is going to be driving this Sengkang Together movement, our ground initiative. Maybe it's a good time now. I hand over to Pin Min to just elaborate a little bit more.
Thank you, Raymond. I think, first of all, I must say that I really enjoyed this chit-chat session very much. And at the same time, I also want to take this opportunity to thank, all our residents in Sengkang who have been supporting us over the years. Just now when I visited one resident, she actually told me that, she was staying in Anchorvale, with her mother as a teenager. And now she's already a mother staying in Compassville. And it sort of, makes me feel like, it's been a long time, the past 14, 15 years, I've seen children grown up, start their own family, and now still staying within Sengkang town. And I believe that's because, they find that there is this common identity and character in Sengkang, that they cherish. And we want to use this Sengkang Together movement, to lobby all, the ground-up initiatives, from residents, so that we can make Sengkang an even better home for all of us. So I just want to thank all of you, for being with us all these years, and I look forward to serving you in the coming years, and I do urge you to support us in this coming election.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lam. Mr. Amrin, nanti. Okay, now to Mr. Ng.
I will defer to your surprise. I'm looking forward to the surprise too.
You surprised me also, You made me kanchong now.
Well, so thank you all the residents for asking the different questions. Really, really enjoyed the session to hear your views and some of the queries. In time, we will be engaging you even more intimately to know all the different issues that we can help you with. But if I were to summarize some of the issues that I gleaned from the 1 hour plus chat that we have, well, many are concerned about jobs. Livelihoods in COVID-19 is really stressing some of the families here in Sengkang. In the walkabouts that we have heard some of this. Some have taken on part-time jobs as Grab delivery. I've spoken to many of them outside of Campus 1. Some like chefs, some PMEs, IT even, they are now doing part-time job, and many have received the CERS supplement to help them on the transition. But the more important and most strategic thing for jobs is actually getting our economy back on track. This must be done at the national level, and we ask for all the resident support for us so that we can have the mandate to bring Singapore out of COVID with a strong economy that would provide good jobs for Singaporeans. Then when we come into the local level of Sengkang, well, there are 3 points maybe I would like to summarize for our residents. When we look at the local level issues, my team and I, we have put together some plans for you in terms of setting up the Sengkang Town Council, putting in a proposal of Sengkang Together that is backed up by our manifesto, where all the different town developments that already we are in place is going to be implemented. We are taking a further look 5 years down the road, because Sengkang is a bit older. There's opportunities for us to actually come together in this Sengkang movement to let me discuss what we want so that we can do a better job for you. So we have the plans in place that is live, that is flexible to meet your needs. Importantly, amongst the 4 of us, we have the experience and the track record of running a GRC. He has been a chairman of a town council for 5 years, if I remember correctly. Raymond just now have articulated has been in town council for more than 20 years. Amrin and myself, each one 5 years. So collectively, we know how to run a GRC to serve you. We have the track record in Sembawang GRC, in Pasir Ris Punggol, in an AMK GRC as well. So we look forward for to look at your support, and we humbly ask for your vote, because ultimately we need your mandate to become your MP so that we can serve you. Consider these things, please, so that when you vote, we hope to be your candidates that will be given the mandate into Parliament for the next 5 years. So thank you very much for joining us. I now hand you to Kevin for the surprise, which I also really don't know what is it.
I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. Okay, after the summary from Mr. Raymond Lye, we know he's a new candidate and he's all ready to give his best and his all for Sengkang residents. And we have Dr. Lam summarizing for us as well, and we have Mr. Ng. And coming up next, we want to invite Mr. Amrin Amin to actually summarize a bit for us, because he's a new face in Sengkang as well, but definitely not a new face all around Singapore. Mr. Amrin.
I think being the last speaker, everyone say all the things I wanted to say already. I guess at one point, I want to make a very important point, which is we are at a very unique time of Singapore's history. It is very important. Things might look all okay, but when we meet people at homes, we meet people who are actually in hardship. And it's important that at this stage, we show the Singapore spirit. And I think there's this line in our manifesto that I think we should really read very carefully, that is onward together as one. I think when we are united, when we have a good team, now is not the time for us to take risks, for us to gamble. You need an experienced team. You need a good team. You need people with good track record of not just making promises, but delivering them. And that's important. We want to serve you, and we will do all our very, very best to serve you. And PAP has never let Singapore down. And we will do our very best for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrin. And of course, quoted from Mr. Ng Chee Meng earlier on, we talk about Sengkang Together. So this 4% are the candidates for Sengkang GRC. May I actually have the honor to have a Sengkang Together sing-along session right here? Okay, that is led by Mr. Amrin Amin. For me, because
the lyrics now.
Because Mr. Lee just now mentioned that you actually did this song, 细水长流. Okay, we want a bit from you. Is that okay? Don't worry about lyrics, sir. I got it all ready for you. Let me do a stress screen. Okay, I used my break time to actually just now early on to find for this. My guy helped me with this. So this is the Hanyu Pinyin one. Okay, can you see over your side?
Can.
Can, huh? Okay, so we want to do this just a short one, and we will end it off for today's session. Please do remember, give them your fullest support, and we have a Sengkang Together first sing-along session that over here. Okay, Mr. Amrin.
Kevin,
yes,
can I just check with you? Because we are in the election process, I do recall that we should not have singing concerts. I don't know how this COVID-19 in the webinar, whether the law applies to that.
Okay. Well said. Okay, because
It is a very good surprise, but I don't know whether we should sing because I have not interpreted the law.
Okay.
Chinese, we don't sing.
How about this? Okay, let's put this screen down for now. Okay, for this singing session. But as a Sengkang resident, can I like?
You can go to my Facebook page.
You can view Amrin's video. He has a wonderful video of him singing 细水长流.
How about can I do a repost on this video itself that has Mr. Amrin's 细水长流?
Yeah, I think the video is okay.
And as a Sengkang resident, can I have a small request? Other than being elected in the future, can we have Mr. Amrin to sing for us more in the future for more Sengkang residents?
Amrin, can you answer that question?
Cannot anyhow make promise.
Okay, but definitely coming from a lot of your supporters out there because they say, oh, Mr. Amrin, sing and such. Okay, we have people dedicating for 细水长流 and such. Okay, yay, karaoke up. Next time, we have more time in the future to do this Sengkang together sing along. Okay, so for today, we want to thank everyone for showing your support, especially whether you are a Sengkang resident or not. Thank you so much for tuning in, and do remember we have 4 very good men in our Sengkang GRC. Do remember to give them your fullest support. Okay, we have Mr. Ng Chee Meng, we have Dr. Amrin Amin, we have 2 new faces, but not new to everyone in Sengkang, Mr. Amrin Amin and Mr. Raymond Lye. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Do remember, if you missed this live, share it. Okay, share it with everyone in Sengkang. Okay, 加油. Thank you, sir.
Feedback for the manifesto, we have put it online already.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Wow, very fast. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Once again, good health to everyone, and Sengkang 加油. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye.